You're watching the Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast. So hi there, my name is Brent Smith and I'm the Common Constitutionalist, and welcome to a special edition Common Constitutionalist Weekend Video Podcast, I guess. It is technically a weekend video podcast because I'm doing this Friday night. It will go up on YouTube Friday night and it will air on Saturday on my site. So there you go. It's the weekend. Happy freaking day. And it's October and we've got snow on the ground in New England, and nobody, well, I'm sure there's some people happy about that. This person ain't one of them. The Constitutionalist ain't one of them. So today's video podcast, I decided to do this on the spur of the moment because I'm very angry at this, and I'm just getting tired of being angry about regarding the left. But what are you going to do? You either sit and take it, or you just whatever, you do something about it. And this is my way of doing something about it. So this video podcast is entitled "Monday Morning Quarterbacks Question the Wallace Shooting in Philadelphia." I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, mostly peaceful protests broke out in the city of brotherly love. Now that's a hot one. After a black guy was shot by police, and I'll get to that incident in a minute. Philly cops were ordered to basically stand down and let the rioters loot and destroy property. That's not what the order said. They were supposed to be able to protest without police interference. There's no protest. They're just riots and looting, destroying property in disguise. Okay. Maybe they were allowed to disperse the crowd a little bit, something the cops, but by no means were they allowed to arrest anyone. So last week, just this past week, the mayor and the city council passed a ban on all non-lethal weapons and ammunition for police, which meant that the police weren't allowed to carry rubber bullets, they weren't allowed to carry beanbag rounds, no tear gas, no pepper spray, no mace, and so I also assume, although it didn't say, that no tasers, okay? So the cops ended up with just, what? Lethal weapons. They're pistols, shotguns, whatever it happens to be. Just guns. But police, you can rest assured that the police don't want to shoot anybody, okay? They simply do not want to shoot anyone because they know what's going to happen if they do. First off, they don't want to shoot anyone anyway because they're law officers and they're not out to shoot people. That's not their job, to shoot people. They're supposed to uphold the law and keep the peace, okay? But they also know the reality of this current situation today. If you shoot somebody and you're a peace officer, a law officer, a police officer, whatever you want to classify them as, you're going to be in deep duty, and one of these lefty attorney generals will try you for murder, and that's just the way it is, okay? Because particularly if you happen to kill a black individual. Whether they're a thug, a dirtbag or not, it doesn't make any difference. They will be lionized, and you will be the opposite, demonized, okay? So, cops are stuck in a catch-22. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. It's that simple. And because the cops are fearful of using their weapons, of course, and were ordered not to interfere in the mostly peaceful protests, they ended up being chased by a huge ravenous mob down the street, one of the streets of Philadelphia, 2 evenings ago, I guess, or something like that. No, I guess it was, yeah, a couple evenings ago. Down the streets of Philadelphia, and if the mob had caught him, I guarantee you, violence would have seriously ensued and somebody would have gotten killed. I guarantee you. I don't know if it would have been the police or not, but I did see a police officer, I think it was a female police officer, was run over by a huge truck, and the guys, girls, whoever was in this truck, knew exactly what they were doing, and then just ran through and just wiped out this one cop. Couldn't even believe it, and that was on video too. So, there's a video that I'm not going to share. I'm not going to share any of these videos because I don't know what the rules and regulations of YouTube and locking me out and shutting me down and all this other crap that they do. But at any rate, so there is a video of the mostly peaceful protesters chasing the cops down the road with rocks and bottles and God only knows what. And some of these things were huge. A big freaking, I don't even know what they were, throwing at the cops. But you could hear on the video, this black kid or black guy was taking a video on his phone or something like that of this whole incident, and you could hear hard objects clanking off of the plexiglass riot shields from 50, 75 feet away. And you could hear it as plain as day. So, I mean, the cops, it's just, I guarantee at least somebody got hurt easily. Excuse me. But the commentary of the filmmaker, this black guy filming this on his phone, is abhorrent. It is just, it's just evil. It's absolute. He's in absolute glee, saying, "Get him, yeah!" As in the protesters, the rioters, getting and catching the cops and beating the crap out of them or throwing rocks at them, and then, "Yeah, that's what I like," as huge rocks are hurled at the cops. Yeah, that's what I like, you dirtbag piece of crap. So there's your mostly peaceful protesters. Now, on to what started this. The Wallace Jr. case. This was the catalyst that started the latest round of idiotic rioting. 2 police officers. I'm sure they were just out, they got in their car and they were just out trolling, let's kill ourselves a black man, you know? No. As a matter of fact, they were called to that address for a disturbance incident. I don't know specifically what it was, but the police were called by frightened family members or something like that. And when they got there, Walter Wallace Jr. was out on the street with a knife. Yay. Good job, Walter, you thug. How do I know he's a thug? Because he has a freaking criminal record this long. And also, how do I know about the incident? Because, again, there's a phone video showing the whole bloody thing. It only is a minute or 2 long. That's it from start to finish. The video shows the officers in a defensive posture, standing up on the street in a defensive position. Guns are drawn. One gun's down at the street. Other one's kind of, it's not trained in anything in particular, but they're ready to go if they have to. All right? But they have a defensive posture and they're backing up. Meanwhile, a woman, maybe his mom, something like that, is trying to push Wallace back onto the sidewalk. And Wallace has got the knife in his hand. She's trying to push him onto the sidewalk. I assume get him out of harm's way, get him out of this situation. Wallace wasn't having any of that. He just went around one of the vehicles and came back onto the street, probably 20, 25 feet away from, maybe 20 feet away from the officers, with the knife in his left hand, holding it out, wielding it at the officers. All the while, you could hear them several times saying, "Put down the knife, drop the knife." Several times they said that, and Wallace did not comply. And then at that point, Wallace came around the vehicle about 20 feet away, and then within 2 or 3 strides, closed that gap to with probably 8 to 10 feet away. And the officers then had to make a split-second decision whether they were going to be stabbed. They didn't know they didn't know what was going to happen. Okay, all they knew is that the guy was in an offensive posture, coming at them, not running, but striding at them with the knife in his hand, and he wasn't there to greet them. Okay, he wasn't there to say, "Welcome to the neighborhood, bro." That's not what was going to happen, more than likely. So the officers, several shots later, center mass, put him down. And then all hell breaks loose. The woman comes over there, throws something at the officer as if it's their fault that they shot her little angel or some damn thing. I don't know what it was. But of course, then all the leftist Monday morning quarterbacks have to come out the following day and criticize the 2 police officers. Wolf Blitzer, what a schmedrick this guy is, of CNN had the ignorance, the stupidity, the nerve, I don't even know what you call it. He was interviewing former Philly Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey, and he asked Charles Ramsey, why shoot to kill as opposed to shoot to injure? Well, to Mr. Ramsey's credit, he stayed calm and cool. He wouldn't be like me, like Wolf. What are you, some kind of a moron? A special kind of moron? Don't know. He answered the question that the officers are trained to shoot center mass. Okay? Now, I didn't really watch the rest of it because I was satisfied that Ramsey obviously knows what he's talking about. He's going to keep his cool, and he didn't appear to be an advocate for CNN, as most of the people that they interview are. Okay? They know what they're going to say, and they're in cahoots with CNN, and that's the way it works. So, in case you're wondering what center mass is, center mass is, let's see, it's from about here to here, chest and abdomen, okay? The biggest area on the body. Why do you aim for center mass? Because it's at that distance, it's hard to miss. That's why. It's hard to miss the perp. It's hard to miss the aggressor. Whatever you want to call them, it's just frankly hard to miss it. And that's why you shoot for center mass. It's just that simple. Why don't you shoot to wound? Why don't you shoot him in the leg? Shoot him in the arm. Whatever. First off, if you shoot somebody to wound, that ain't going to stop them from coming after you. It's not going to even slow them down in most cases. Okay? Second, most important, it's easy to miss to shoot to wound. You can miss a leg. You can easily miss an arm. Hell, you could miss a head. It's hard to miss center mass. It's hard to miss this big thing, freaking body, because even under a high-stress situation that this surely is, and anybody who's ever been a cop or in the military in this particular situation knows damn well that you got the adrenaline pumping. I don't care how many you door kickers out there, you tell me I'm wrong. I don't care how many times you kicked in the door. The adrenaline's pumping, okay? You ain't just ready for a nappy time. The adrenaline's going no matter what, because you don't know what's on the. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get on. I'm not going to go off on that tangent. All I'm saying is that in a high stress situation, you could be even at 8 to 10 feet. You could be 4 to 6 inches off your target, and you're still going to hit center mass. Why don't they only shoot him once? Okay, because it's not a video game and it's not a movie where the guy stands there with a .45 caliber in one hand and he shoots and there's no recoil. And then he hits the mark and the guy flies back 20 feet. That's not the way it works. Sorry. Plus the fact that these officers had 9mm weapons, I almost guarantee, maybe .40 caliber like I carry. That's not going to put anybody down unless you in the head. Okay, that's the only way they're going down first time. That's it. Other than that, they're going to keep coming. That's why you put as many rounds as it takes to put them down. That's what it works. That's the way it works. If they're the aggressor, and this guy clearly was on the video, an aggressor with a knife in his hand, it's either going to be you or him, and it ain't going to be you, so you got to put him down, and you have to use as many shots as it takes to put him down. That's it. Okay? Because there's too many times in real life you get shot once, you get shot twice, and you don't go down, you don't go down, you don't go down, and you got to continue to fire until the guy does go down. That's why they shoot so many times, because they don't know. And you don't know until the guy falls to the ground, and then you can stop firing. That's the only time you stop shooting, gang. That's it. So that's all I got. I'm sick of the Monday morning quarterbacks. I'm sick of the leftist, the propaganda nonsense. And I'm sick of these mostly peaceful protests. They're not mostly peaceful protests. Every serial killer in the world was mostly peaceful until he killed a dozen people. But he didn't kill a dozen people all at once. Maybe it was a span of 2 years, which meant that most of the time he was pretty peaceful. Jeffrey Dahmer, I bet, was mostly peaceful. Okay? You see where I'm going with this? It doesn't make any difference whether 80% of these people were mostly peaceful. If you burn your city to the ground, it only takes 20% of you to do so. It's ridiculous. Now I'm done. My name is Brent Smith. I'm the Common Constitutionalist. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. Hooray for you, hooray for me. See you later. Bye.